who was that cowherd boy who placed his hands over his eyes? They would have wrestling games. They would take bale fruits and throw a bale fruit up in the air and try to hit that bale fruit with another bale fruit. And then those that won, they had competition. They would gamble. Now, this is one of the 4 principles that we don't follow. So we can't imitate the cowherd boys in many ways. Because in our case, when we're gambling, our egos and our material desires are on the line. It intensifies and strengthens material attachment. But for the cowherd boys, it was simply for the enhancement of the pleasure of Krishna. They knew nothing but the pleasure of Krishna. So sometimes they would wager their flutes, sometimes their sticks for controlling the cows, sometimes the ropes that were on their shoulder, sometimes items from their lunches. And so many games that the boys would play. They would imitate the sounds of the birds. They would imitate the motion of the animals as they would move through the forest. Just all day long, the cowherd boys would be playing and playing and playing. You know how children can be, mothers especially. Playing and playing and playing all day long. And so, while they were playing and playing, the cows wandered away into some distance in the forest. And so the cowherd boys went to look for the cows. And as they moved through the forest, heading for where the cows were, they saw a blazing forest fire. Because the winds were very strong, the forest fire was moving very, very swiftly. And so when any of the residents of Vraja, the cowherd boys, the cows, the elder gopas and elder gopis, any of the living entities, when they're in difficulty, what do? Krishna! Just like we heard in Varsana, when Madhu Mangal was stuck in the window. What did he call out? Krishna! Help! Krishna! And when Krishna hears the call of his devotees calling out, Krishna! Help! What does Krishna do? He comes at once. And when Krishna saw the whole circumstance of the big raging fire, at once he wanted to give protection to his cowherd boyfriends. But Krishna, being very intelligent, he considered, if I just remove the forest fire, maybe the cowherd boys will think something extraordinary about me. So he asked them to close their eyes. And as they closed their eyes, Krishna opened his mouth and all the forest fire was swallowed by Krishna. And simultaneously, what with their eyes closed, Krishna transported them right back here to Bandiravat. And when they opened their eyes, the fire was gone, the danger was gone. And look, here we are in a new place. Krishna, how wonderful you are. We're going to have something wonderful to tell our mother and father when we go back home tonight. Because the cowherd boys, they were the messengers for the loving parents of Krishna to hear the wonderful exploits of Krishna during the day. Because they had this intensity of love through separation from Krishna, through parts of the day. And that which would satisfy and pacify their hearts was to once again hear the wonderful messages of Krishna the wonderful activities of Krishna, just like all of us. Of course, we don't have the intensity of love as the residents of Vraja, but the same soothing effect is there. The original Krishna consciousness is there within each and every one of us. And just by hearing these wonderful activities, it brings the soothing, cooling, pacifying effect to our consciousness and draws our natural loving attraction once again to Krishna. In fact, the pastimes that Krishna performs, they're specifically for that purpose, to attract the hearts and the minds of his dear devotees and those who are trying to become his dear devotees. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sanatana Goswami describes at the very beginning, those that have no attraction for Krishna and those that don't care to have no attraction to have any attraction for Krishna, don't read any further. This is not a literature for you. Fie on you. You're banned from reading this literature further, because this is literature. These subject matters are for attracting our hearts and our minds once again to Krishna. And as Dinabandhu said, there are many other pastimes which I'm sure he'll very wonderfully and delightfully explain to you. The wedding of Radha and Krishna that was performed here, and many others. Hare Krishna.
थोड़ा सा 14-4 किलोमीटर आगे एक भद्रवन है। तो हम लोग अभी तो जमुना का पश्चिम तीर पर, और पश्चिम तीर पर 5 वन है: भद्रवन, बंदीरवन, भेलवन, भद्रवन, बंदीरवन, भेलवन, वो उसका दूसरा नाम है श्रीवन, फिर लोहावन, फिर गोकुल महावन। गोकुल, महावन और बृहदवन, ये एक स्थान का 3 नाम है। बृहदवन, भागवतम, श्रीमद् भागवतम बृहदवन, ये महावन और गोकुल, ये तीनों का एक स्थान है। और ये 5 वन, ये दाऊजी का वन है। तो पूर्व की ओर 7 वन है: मरुवन, थालवन, बहुलवन, और सबसे बड़ा वृंदावन, फिर काम्यवन, फिर केदारवन, और एक मरुवन, थालवन, बहुलवन, वृंदावन, काम्यवन, कमुदवन, एक छोटा वन है मरुवन थालवन के पास। मरुवन, थालवन, कमुदवन, फिर बहुलवन, फिर वृंदावन, काम्यवन, और एक छोटा वन है केदारवन। 7 5 12 ये कृष्ण जी का वन है। ये 7 वन पश्चिम पूर्व की तरफ, हम तो पश्चिम। तो ये सबसे पहले भद्रवन। भद्रवन में एक बार महाराज बताया कि ठाकुर जी का नाम था गोपाल। शायद ये गोवर्धन ट्रिक में फिर आप सुनेंगे कि एक बार ठाकुर जी का नाम बदल हो गया गोविंदा। पहले का नाम था गोपाल। गोपाल मतलब कि वो गौ का पालन करते थे, गो पालन करने वाले। तो ये सब ग्वाल बाल वहां भद्रवन कभी कभी जाते थे। तो कंस एक बहुत क्रूर आसुर भेजा क्योंकि ठाकुर जी वो वृक्ष करते, ये सब गो और वत्स, ये गो और वत्स रखो, ठाकुर जी वृक्ष करते। अगर एक वत्स के रूप में जाएंगे तो पतने लग जाएगा, हम उसको उनका रक्षा करते, बच्चा ये वत्स। तो ये असुर वत्स के रूप में इसके नाम है वत्सासुर। फिर ठाकुर जी तो सब कुछ जानते हैं, उनको पता तुरंत लगे। फिर दाऊ जी के पास गए, दाऊ देखो आंख से इशारा किया, देखो ये ठीक है। तो धीरे 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 चुपचाप से और सब ग्वाल बाल से बात करते करते हुए ये वत्स के बिल्कुल पीछे आया। फिर ठाकुर जी उसको पकड़ लिया और खत्म कर दिया। ये हो ये बजरंग। तो वत्सासुर का वध करके फिर जैसा महाराज ये राधाकुंड के उदाहरण देते कि वहाँ तो अविस्तासुर, उससे तो बेल के रूप है ना, बेल सार के रूप में आया। जब खत्म कर दिया तो फिर ये सब गोपियां के पास गए, अभी हम रास करेंगे। अरे तूने बहुत बड़ी पाप किया, आपके साथ कैसे रास करूंगी? नहीं, मैं तो एक असुर बंद कर दिया, क्या बात? अरे ये तो असुर नहीं था, ये तो शेर था, सार। तूने बहुत बड़ी पाप किया, तो इसके इलाज क्या है? The प्रायश्चित ये पूरा तीर्थ यात्रा के जितने भी है उसके स्नान करके पूरा विश्व का ब्रह्मांड में जितने भी तीर्थ है इसके पानी में स्नान करना पड़ेगा। अच्छा, अरे ये तो बहुत समय लगेगा, मैं तो सब यहन बुलाएंगे। तो ठाकुर जी आपका दाएं हाथ से एक गदा, I have a big problem in Hindi because there's gada, I'm sitting on a gada, then there's a gada, and there's a gada. I have no idea how to pronounce or tell the difference between the three. So anyway, is prakar ka gada. What did he say? Gada. Anyway. ये अंग्रेजी का जीव ये खान जो नहीं समझ सकते न जीव बता सकते, इस प्रकार के गद्दा बनाए। In Kumbh everybody was getting upset with, why are you telling everybody to throw their petals in their leaf plates on the donkey? Yeah, for me it's hopeless. तो फिर ठाकुर जी से बंसी बजा कर ये सब तीर्थ व्यक्तिगत रूप में बुलाए। फिर उनका सारे पानी इस तालाब में डाला और ठाकुर जी स्नान किए। तो ठीक इसी प्रकार ये सब ग्वाल बाल ठाकुर जी के साथ नहीं खेलना चाहते थे। तूने बहुत बड़े पाप किए, तूने एक बात मार दिया, तो हम आपके साथ कैसे खेलेंगे? मैं क्या करूं? तो ये सब ग्वाल बाल विचार किया, तुमको पूरा ब्रह्मांड का तीर्थ यात्रा में स्नान करना पड़ेगा। अच्छा, ये तो बहुत लंबी समय लगेगा, मैं आपके बिना कैसे रह सकते? तो ठाकुर जी विचार किए कि मेरा बहुत ही प्रायोगिक बंसी है, I don't know how to say multi-purpose. I think it's useful. It's full of uses. एक गाया बुलाने के लिए, एक गोपियां बुलाने के लिए. तो ठाकुर जी अपना इस प्रकार बेनू, उनके पास बेनू था. So बेनू वो ज़मीन पर डाला और ये बेनू खूब बनाए. जब हम लोग आ रहा था, हमारा बाएं हाथ पर आने, आप जब जाएंगे तो दाएं हाथ पर पड़ेगा ये बेनू खूब. इसके स्नान से पानी, इसके पानी से स्नान किए और उसका पानी भी पान किया. फिर ये सब हुआ उनके साथ करते थे. और बताते हैं कि जब सोमवती अमावस्या होते हैं, सोमवती अमावस्या क्या है?
सोमवार की अमावस्या.
जब सोमवार को अमावस्या आती है, सोमवती अमावस्या, उस समय बहुत मंगल आरती के समय 4 साढ़े 4 बजे एक दूध का धारा निकलते हैं इस कुएं में. They tell that on Somavati Amavasya, when Monday, which in Hindi we say Somvar, Som, after moon, not Monday, moon day. So on Somvar, on Monday, when Amavasya, you know Amavasya? Amavasya means new moon. They call new moon, but there's no moon. They're telling new moon day means no moon. So when that comes on a Monday, that is called Somavati Amavasya. They say on that morning, very early, 4:30 in the morning, a little stream of milk comes in that well. That big festival takes place here. Villagers from all around come. And especially you see there's 2 places on either side. You know, it's like 2 tiny little walls. They're because mainly, especially it has become popular belief in Vraj that if some lady is there who cannot get child, or child is born dead, or soon after birth dies, and this is going on like this, and she's not getting child, that if she will take birth in that bath, on that Somavati Amavasya, then she will be able to give birth to child. So they make this 2 little private places the ladies can have the water poured over them like that. They bring their old sari here, they leave it, and they take bath, and they put new sari, and they make offerings to the temple, and this and that, and this way they get children. So, सोमवती पर अमावस्या पर बहुत मेला लगते हैं. और जिस स्त्री को बच्चे नहीं होते ना, जब बच्चा हुआ वो मर जाते, और मरते हुए आया तो किसी प्रकार बच्चे नहीं रख सकते, तो फिर यहाँ आकर उसी समय, इसलिए ये दोनों प्राइवेट स्थान है कूप के बगल में, जहाँ ये स्त्री स्नान कराया जा सकते हैं. तो फिर वो एक उसके जो पुराना सारे वो यहाँ रह जाते हैं, फिर नए सारे पहन के वो कुछ पूजा सब कुछ मंदिर का सेवा करते हैं, और फिर उसके बच्चे हो जाते हैं. Because you don't come here just to get child. This is popular. ये लोकप्रिय का विषय है. So, फिर महाराज बताया था कि ये सब बता रहा था कि ये सब नंदगांव में जब ठाकुर जी ये सब ग्वाल बाल के साथ गौ चुराने के लिए जाते, तो माँ सोरेन के पीछे भी आते. और ठाकुर जी बोले मैं ठीक, मैं तो ठीक हूँ, आप वापस जाइए. तो फिर वो वापस नंदगांव के द्वार पर उनके साथ जाते हैं, वहाँ पहुँचाते हैं. तो फिर ठाकुर जी चले जाते, तो फिर माँ यशोदा पीछे आते. उनका इतना स्नेह माँ यशोदा के, ठाकुर जी इनका जुस्ती के बाहर नहीं देख सकते. नहीं देखो, हम तो बलदाव जी के साथ हैं, बल भैया है, बल माने स्ट्रॉन्ग ना, बल, हम तो बलदाव जी के साथ हैं, कोई तकलीफ नहीं होगा माता जी। और वापस फिर पीछे आते। देखो माँ सुबल है, वो तो बलराम से बड़ा सुबल, ये सब बाल है, हम तो ठीक है। तो फिर वापस फिर माया सोचा नहीं, मैं तो आपके साथ गोद चढ़ाने के लिए। अरे मैया, हम तो हमारा कोई तकलीफ नहीं है, सब बाल है, हमारा रक्षा करेंगे। और दाऊ जी बताते, अरे मैया हम तो थोड़ी गोद चढ़ाने के लिए जाते, ये गाय हमारे पीछे आते, हम लोग तो केवल खेलने के लिए जाएंगे, तो क्या करोगे? हम लोग तो खेलते और कुछ नहीं करते। तू क्या करोगी माया? और जैसे श्रीमद् भागवत बहुत वर्णन करती, बहुत विलंब विस्तृत वर्णन है। जैसे कभी ये सब जितने भी प्राणी इनका आवाज करते हैं, ये तो मोर है। एक है, अभी हमारे गाड़ी के सामने नहीं हटाना चाहते थे, किसी पर चले गए, इसका नाम है डोगिला। और आप ब्रज की डोरा सुना? ये ब्रज के जो डोरा है, हम लोग जब मानसरोवर में पहुंचे, ये सब कर रहा था। सुना? You heard how the doves were calling? Except in one season they changed. एक दूसरे मौसम में वो बदल कर देते। और एक टीचर, ये Taittiriya Upanishad, इसके नाम है ये टीचर से, एक प्रकार का पक्षी है। बहुत सुबह आप वो तो कभी केवल रात को वृक्ष के ऊपर जाते हैं, और दिन में जमीन पर चलते रहते हैं। उसको थोड़ा सा मुख्य है और जमीन पर कभी आप देखिए उसके जो बच्चे हैं उसके पीछे। और सुबह वो तो रात में वो वृक्ष के ऊपर जाते रक्षा करने के लिए। तो सुबह ये क्या बताते? सुबह करके फिर नीचे आते। एक है जल मुर्गी, अगर दो मिलते सुबह, if two of them meet it early in the morning, that sound I can't even imitate. इसके आवाज हम भी नहीं नकल कर सकते। ऐसा कुछ
Vrindavan to New York.
Then there's फिर ये कोयल, संस्कृत में कोकिला, वो बहुत से गाने हैं इसके। उनका सबसे प्रिय, और जो लोग मायापुर, कौन मायापुर गए थे गुरुपूर्णिमा फेस्टिवल के समय? कोई गए मायापुर गुरुपूर्णिमा फेस्टिवल के समय? क्योंकि उसी समय वो शुरू करते, ये तो बहुत देर, उसके थोड़ी देर बाद शुरू करते। लेकिन आप तो सुने होंगे, दूसरे है, दूसरे है, उसका जो श्रेष्ठ गान है हम भी नहीं गा सकते, उसका नकल भी नहीं कर सकते, इसका ऐसा कुछ। इसलिए इस गोस्वामी के ग्रंथ में राधा रानी का वचन को कोकिला रानी, राधा रानी के वाणी कोकिला रानी, उनका आवाज ऐसे जैसे इतना सुंदर कोमल, जैसे ये कोकिला। Radharani's voice always described as kokila rani. It always starts on the fifth note. That's where it starts. Always on that note first. तो खेलते 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 वास्तव में थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन है। एक बंजीर बात यह है, एक बंजीर बात हम जाएंगे कल, एक बंजीर बात वहाँ भी है। ये बंजीर मतलब बात वृक्ष, कोई भी बात वृक्ष। लेकिन जितनी भी बड़ी बड़ी बात हम देखते कि यहाँ भी बात बताती है, वहाँ भी बताती है। वास्तव में उसको उस साइड में जो हम कल जाएंगे वो पास वो लीला है। ये सब खेलते 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 एक स्थान पे आया, एक बहुत सुंदर वट वृक्ष था। इस वट वृक्ष का नाम है अक्षय वट। और वहां जाकर ये सब खेल रहा था। फिर क्या हुआ कि जब खेलते हैं, यदि आप देखते कि बहुत से मूल नीचे आ रही है, ज्वार नीचे आ रही है, तो इसी पर उसका जो नाच है उसके सिर पे बांध देते थे और टांग देते थे। कोई दाल है, कोई ज्वार है, वो टांग देते थे उसके सारे लंच बैग। फिर करते फिर ये वट वृक्ष के नीचे बैठकर सब लोग अपना अपना लंच बैग खोल देते थे और प्रसाद पाते थे। Radha and Krishna underneath this tree. So बहुत ही सुंदर मेला का वातावरण हो गया। तो ब्रह्मा जी यहाँ ये किशोर किशोरी यहाँ लाके उनका विवाह कराया गया इसी मंदिर वट वृक्ष के नीचे हम लोग सब बैठे हैं। He had them exchange garlands. वो माला का आपस में So he had Radharani circumambulate Sri Krishna. He tied their garments together. Everything he did, he performed beautiful marriage here under this tree. So Brahmaji सब रीति होके उनका विवाह संस्कार किया। Everybody was singing and dancing, the birds and beasts, everyone was so happy to see them. सब लोग नाच और गा रहा था और ये सब जितने भी प्राणी है, पक्षी, पक्षी सब यहाँ आते थे उनके दर्शन करने के लिए। And very slowly, all the Gandharvas disappeared, all the Kinnaras disappeared, all the Apsaras disappeared, Brahmaji disappeared, all the Sakhis disappeared, Radharani and Krishna disappeared. और धीरे-धीरे ये सब अप्सरा चलने लगे, ये सब गंधर्व चले गए, ये सब किन्नर चले गए, ये सब सखीगण भी चले गए, ब्रह्मा जी भी चले गए, केवल राधा और कृष्ण, किशोर किशोरी So then they began to wander through the forest, sometimes playing hide and seek behind the trees, sometimes dancing and singing. Some beautiful place they went, suddenly the sand became just like a dancing die and they began to dance with ching 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 ching, their ankle bells and bracelets all in beautiful sound together and syncopating together very nicely. In this way they performed, and some place Radharani sat and she cooked very nice feasts, and with her own hands she fed Krishna. तो जब सब लोग कोई नहीं जाना चाहते थे, लेकिन किसी योग माया के प्रभाव से तो सब लोग तो धीरे-धीरे कोई नहीं जाना चाहते, सब लोग तो किशोर किशोरी के दर्शन करना चाहते थे, लेकिन सब चले गए। तो सब लोग चले गए, राधा कृष्ण खेल रहे, तो फिर वन में घूमने गए, कभी-कभी hide and seek, what do you say, hide and seek? छुपा छुपी, राधा कृष्ण आपस में छुपा छुपी सब वृक्ष के पीछे ऐसे करते थे। कभी-कभी ये सब एक बहुत ही सुंदर स्थान पे आया और ये सब जो व्रज है वो एकदम जैसे नाचने का स्थान बन गए, जैसे ये संगवर पत्र संगे चलन हो गया, तो फिर वहाँ नाचने लगे, उनके दोनों नुपुर उसके दोनों आपस में जो टकराने लगे, ना टकराने लेकिन उसके पूछना और जवाब ऐसे, वो ठाकुर जी के चिंग चिंग और राधा रानी के चिंग 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 ऐसे करने लगी, नाचने लगी। और एक स्थान पे राधा रानी रसोई बनाई है और ठाकुर जी को स्वयं अपने हाथ से खिलाए प्रसाद। फिर एक जगह पे ठाकुर जी ने देखा कि बहुत सुंदर अलग अलग रंग के मिनरल्स है, तो फिर राधा रानी का मुंह पे ये बहुत सुंदर चित्र बनाए, ये सब रंग से, नेचुरल प्राकृतिक रंग से। फिर राधा रानी वो भी ये सब रंग ठाकुर जी को लगाना चाहती थी। So they went to one place, there were so many beautiful different colored minerals were there. So Radharani Krishna began to draw beautiful pictures on Radharani's face and arms and here and there, beautiful different colored pictures. And Radharani, she also wanted to do the same thing. She took those minerals, and when she wanted to do that, suddenly Krishna transformed himself into a small baby boy again. So Radharani उनको रंग लगाना चाहते थे, तो ठाकुर जी अपना किशोर रूप प्रकट कर दिया, फिर ये छोटे छोटे बच्चे हो गए दोबारा। So then Radharani began to cry, and suddenly a voice in the sky came to, "Hey Radhe, calm yourself. In due course of time, the season will come when all your desires will be satisfied." और तुरंत एक आकाशवाणी हुआ, जब राधा रानी रोने लगे, ऐसा माया मत करो, ऐसा माया मत करो। अब किशोर रूप दिखाओ, दिखाओ, दिखाओ। रोने लगे। फिर एक खास वाणी बताए कि राधा रानी आपका धैर्य रखो, इस समय आने वाला है बहुत ही शीघ्र ही कि आपके सारे इच्छाओं को पूर्ण होंगे। So then Radharani steadied herself. She picked up that beautiful lala holding him close to her breast. And she went on the forest and went to the house of Radha. So Radharani का किसी प्रकार धैर्य रखा और फिर लाला को लेकर अपना छाती स्थान के ऊपर बहुत ही प्रेम स्नेह के साथ रख लिया और फिर धीरे धीरे चलते माँ यशोदा के घर तक। And Mother Yasoda, she saw this golden effulgence entering her house. She ran to the door to see what was going on. And she saw this beautiful forest Devi, this beautiful Van Devi. They are holding her lala in their hands. So Mother Yasoda ने देखा कि पूरा घर एक बहुत ही सुंदर सुनहरे रंग से भरा है। ये कहाँ से आ रहा है प्रकाश? और दरवाजा जाके देखे कि एक बहुत ही सुंदर सुनहरे रंग का वन देवी उपस्थित है और उनका हाथ में ये सुंदर श्याम वर्ण का लाला हरि। So then that Van Devi began to speak. Oh Maya, in the forest rain was coming, so Nanda Baba told me to bring this lala here to you so you can put him to bed safely in the house. So Radharani ne kaha, so that Van Devi said, dreaming of their beautiful Gandharva marriage underneath this bandir hut. Dono Sorat aur swapan kare hamara Gandharva vivaha is mandir batake diche. So this bandir bat, now it's Kali Yuga, he shrank. Because actually, it's described that his branches were so long, they used to go all the way across the other side of the Jamuna. Wow. We could just climb up the roof, run across one branch and go down, and we don't need all these buses. इतना लंबे वो अभी कलियुगी तो छोटा हो गया, लेकिन इतने लंबे ढाल था कि पूरे जमुना पार कर देते थे। ये सब ग्वाल बाल, ये सब एक ज्वार को पकड़ करके ऊपर जाके वो पूरा पार कर देगा। हम लोग भी इसके ऊपर एक ज्वार पकड़ करके ऊपर चढ़ करके हम तो पूरा जमुना का पार कर सकते हैं, फिर ये बस के कोई आवश्यकता नहीं होगा। That time it was like that. उस समय ऐसा था। सभी यहाँ बहुत से देखने लायक, दर्शन लायक स्थान है। हमारे बिल्कुल पीछे है दाऊ जी का मंदिर है। तो ये तो बलदाऊ का वन है, मंदिर वन बलदाऊ जी का वन है। एक साइड में आप दूसरे साइड में सो आप दाऊ जी के दर्शन कीजिए, वहाँ कुछ दान दीजिए। So just behind me directly, this is Dauji Mandir. Entrance from the other side. We go there, take Dauji. He has these beautiful eyes, just like you see the moon on the Ekadasi day, when it's going, that is what the waning moon, Krishna Paksha Ekadasi. Have you ever seen the moon like that? His eye is just like that. He drank too much bruni. दाऊ जी के दर्शन करेंगे तो उसका आंख ऐसे है जैसे कृष्ण पक्ष का जो एकादशी आती है, जब ये रूप ये शाशी धारण करते हैं, ऐसे इसका आंख बहुत ज्यादा बरूनी पी लिया। बहुत सुंदर दाऊ जी है, this nice दाऊ जी। Other side you'll see the Venu Koop. You can look down into the Koop, because the cowherd boys, that was the other thing it's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. The cowherd boys used to look down in the wells and they would call out ill names and laugh, or they would call out, no, not rather the other way. They would make sounds, and when the sounds would come back, when their own voice would come back out of the well, then they would call it evil names. They call him, hey, and then hey come back, hey, Saleh! एक कुओं के पास जाते थे और कुछ आवाज करते थे, जब आवाज वापस आई उसको पूरा नाम बताते थे, उसको गाली देते. Brishbasis are famous for cursing and swearing. What do they say? Bolan to hela vachanantagari, kari lakata pani kubakari, deki sham madhupuri tehari. Bolan to hela. Hela means with no respect. Just like what is that one verse? Hela, even if you chant the holy name without respect, the word is hela. Not the Abbas. There's one verse in some Purana that says, you hela, or even you speak without respect, you chant the name, still you will get so much incredible. He says, "Oh King, you will still be able to cross over this ocean of material." He says, even you chant without respect. So hela means without any respect. Just like you'll see everywhere we go, "Oh, Din Bandhu, Aja!" So bolan to hela. Or vachananta, gari. See, in Brijbhasa we turn our R's and L's around. There's actually a Sanskrit law. I found one Sanskrit scholar who is always worried about chakleshwar. They always say chakleshwar. They always say chakreshwar. I couldn't find it, but one Sanskrit scholar, no, there's a law where you can switch R's and L's. So you'll see in Brij, we say gwal, they say gwaria. We say, well, first of all, our English people, they don't even know what is gwal. You know gwal? Who's the person who drives the rickshaw? What do you call him? Rickshawala. So the person who takes care of the cow, he's the gowala. Gwal. But a pure Vishvasa is gwar. Gwaria. So they say gari, it's gali. Gali means cuss words. Every word. All of us who are English speaking, you'd be very fortunate. You'd understand what these Brishbasis are saying between themselves. Somebody's here from Detroit. Who came from Detroit? In Detroit, even just in friendly talking. Hey, you son of a, So Brishbasis, they speak like that. What they say in love to each other, in other places that would start a big fight. Especially Kansa's mother, Why don't you talk about that old sticker for us? This is the famous tree, the sticker trees. So Kari Lakata, Pani Kubakari. I see everybody's got their bis lahari. Because the water in Vraj is always very, very salty. You say Kari, Pani Kubakari. Bolan to hela vachanantagari, Kari Lakata, Pani Kubakari, Deki Sham Madhupuri. We have seen your Madhupuri, Sham. Oh Sham, we saw your Madhupuri. So the cowherd boys, they call in the well and they just use the most famous words. So this well is there, and then we'll see the very beautiful Bandir Bihari temple. There you will see, instead of seeing Krishna playing on his flute, you will see Krishna putting sindoor on Radharani's part. You take very special note. Krishna's putting sindoor on Radharani's part. He's not. And our Krishna Chaitanya from the Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Bombay, his wife, what is her name? Anybody knows Krishna Chaitanya? His big fat wife who has no turn-off switch, Anyway, she made this beautiful outfit that's on the deities today. So you go take darshan there. Every place you leave some small donation. My friend Satish, he's a pujari there. He's somehow or other he's made as many whatever rotis. Suddenly you all came here. So this is Vraj. As soon as somebody comes, you have to feed them. Everybody tells me India is a poor place, But I see as soon as you come anywhere, first thing you have to do is give you food. Everybody's starving there. The first thing you walk in someone's house, you have to sit down and eat.
अभी रोटी और लस्सी बड़ी तैयार है
हाँ रोटी देगा
So, here also beautiful sing-a-song where Radha and Krishna's marriage are performed. You can leave some donations here. The Pujari brought us some nice. Where did you go?
Bandir Bam Bihari.
भांडीर राधा भांडीर बिहारी
Bandir Bam Bihari.
राधा भांडीर बिहारी राधा जी की मांग में सिंदूर भरते हुए
राधा
भांडीर बिहारी
सिंधु है
हाँ राधा माता
Saligran Silas. Sri Ram,
हाँ जी
Radha Krishna,
गौरमताई
गणिताई राधा कृष्ण और ऐसा सुंदर कौन सा नाम है?
ऊपर सीतामा सखा राधा कृष्ण गौरमताई
अच्छा श्री राम सखा सखा श्री राम a friend of Krishna Saka
कृष्ण के सखा
Radha Krishna and beautiful Dauji Nitai Shama Sundar Mahaprabhu Shama Sundar Mahalakshmi Gopalji no photo video one
with many of you who have never been to this very, well, in one sense it's a very remote place, but perhaps you noticed as we were approaching, Vrindavan is just on the other side of the river. You can see in the skyline when we go, perhaps we can go down by the Jamuna River, right in our backyard. And you go see the skyscrapers of urban Vrindavan, the Madan Mohan Temple, and the prominent landmarks of Vrindavan town. We're very, very close to Vrindavan. Nice breeze coming across the Jamuna River, soothing and cooling. It's very understandable why this was a very favorite place for the cowherd boys. To herd the cows, and again, as we heard from Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, simply to play all day long. And the cows herded themselves, just attracted all the residents of Vraj. Were attracted supremely to Lord Krishna. Just as we find in the Brahma Vimohan Leela, when Krishna manifested himself as the calves and the cowherd boys, so identical that even the mothers, and there's some mothers here, of children. Can you imagine not being able to recognize your child from another child? Can you imagine? Not only the facial features and bodily features, but the different disposition, I've been noticing different children here have different dispositions. Most are mischievous, but different dispositions. The mothers could not tell the difference between their own children and the manifestation of Krishna, who appeared as their own child. Because just as the gopis, we heard this wonderful Leela, each of the gopis were given the chance to ask some charity. And each one of them wanted Krishna as their husband. Each one of the cowherd women wanted Krishna as their son. Each one of the cows wanted Krishna as their calf. And so they had that opportunity during this Brahma Vimohan Leela. The arrangement was that for the short moment, short time needed for Brahma to go from the scene of the crime, the place by the bank of the Jamuna River where the cowherd boys were having their lunch, and put the cowherd boys and the calves, first the calves, because the calves had wandered away. So Krishna said, "Don't worry, you stay and finish your lunch. I'll find the cows. I'll find the calves. I'll be right back." And when Krishna went looking for the calves, that's when Brahma came back and stole the cowherd boys. And both were put inside the cave, and when he came back to the scene where they were having the lunch, he saw all the cowherd boys and the calves, and they were sitting there having their lunch. So he went back to the cave. There he saw the calves and the cowherd boys. So he went back. What's going on? And instead of seeing the calves and the cowherd boys, he saw forms of Narayan, each of the cowherd boys and each one of the calves. And he saw all the host of 33 million demigods surrounding each of the forms of Narayan, offering choice prayers to the Supreme Lord, and the personified Vedas offering the Vedic hymns unto the Supreme Lord. He saw all the stars and all the planets and the whole cosmic manifestation surrounding each one of the forms of Lord Narayan. What a scene. Try to get an animated video producer to duplicate that one. So we understand in general that time is relative. That is, one moment of Brahma's time is a whole year on this earth planet. Just like for all of us. Our whole lifetime, or go the other direction, a lifetime of a small insect may last for a few days. Birth, growth, reproduction, maintenance for some time, dwindling, and death. In a matter of a few days, the whole lifespan is finished. So in relation to us, very short time. In relation to Brahma's 1 minute, or 1 moment, a whole year had passed. If you recall, Balaram was not present. That would have been very difficult. to take Balaram and put him in a cave. The Balaram was not there. His birthday or some reason he had to remain behind. And so, during that 1 year's time, all the gopis, the elder gopis, found that their attraction for their son was becoming like their attraction for Krishna. Because they actually had more affection for Krishna than their own son. Mothers, please consider. Attraction for Krishna more than for their own son. And when they found that their attraction for their son was like the intensity of their attraction for Krishna, they became bewildered. What's going on? And the cows have such intense affection for Krishna. It's described that when Krishna was calling the cows to tear Kadamba, calling upon his flute, the cows didn't want to leave. Just like Mother Jasoda. She didn't want to leave Krishna. That intense feeling of separation from Krishna was too much for Mother Jasoda. It was too much for the cows. But when Krishna called the cows by playing upon his flute, that sound, their ears perked up in the air, and hearing the sound of Krishna's flute, their hearts became filled to their full satisfaction with the association of Krishna through that sound. And it's described that he guided them with his eyes. Remember how powerful Krishna's eyes are? You remember? Just by glancing, all the things that Krishna can do. With his eyes, he guided the cows to go back to the Goshaw. And when they were sitting in the Goshaw at night, they were crying in separation from Krishna. Barely able to sleep in anticipation of the next morning when they would again go out into the pasture with Krishna. So for 1 year, Krishna is so expert, he provided the cows with the opportunity to nurture their calves, the young cows, the young calves, with the same affection that they have for Krishna, uninterrupted. One day when the calves were with Krishna and the cowherd boys were with Krishna, the elder Gopas, they were herding the cows on the side of Govardhan Hill, and as the cows saw their calves, they were uncontrollably attracted to be with Krishna. They started running down Govardhan Hill. You ever seen a cow run? They don't usually run. And when they move swiftly, it's not like a running deer or a swift antelope, or when we go to Govardhan Hill, maybe we'll see some of the Nilagai, the blue cows. They're cows, but they're wild cows, living near the Govardhan Hill there, and they're shaped more like deer than they are like cows. And they move very swiftly. But cows normally don't run. These cows ran. Hooves in front, hooves behind, and jumping down Govardhan Hill. Govardhan Hill previously was miles tall. Govardhan has been shrinking since the time of Krishna's pastimes. We'll hear about Govardhan shrinking. by the curse of Pulastya Muni, or by the feelings of separation of Govardhan from Krishna. And the cowherds' men, when they saw the cows running down the hill, they went chasing the cows, but they couldn't stop their cows. Big gopas with their big sticks, calling for their cows, they couldn't stop them. And they became angry, but when they came closer to the calves that the cows were eagerly pursuing, all their anger went away. And their great affection, like the affection they feel for Krishna, to satisfy them by giving him their association. This is the real reason for Krishna's appearance in this world, to satisfy the intense feelings of love and separation of his devotees. And for those who are aspiring devotees, to churn from within the heart the loving attraction that we have for him. So the cowherd boys would perform their duty of playing all day long in the forest of Vraja, in the guise of herding the cows. And one of the places they like to come very naturally, because it's such a pleasing area, is Vrindavan, one of the 12 principal forests of Vrindavan. And on one particular day, one of the demons sent by Kanks was sent in the form of one of the cowherd boys, Pralamba. Now, it just so happens that on that particular day, Pralamba wasn't able to come out with the cowherd boys. So the Pralambasura disguised himself just like one of the cowherd boys. He looked just like one of the cowherd boys. And he blended in with all of the same height, same features as that one of the many cowherd boys. But Krishna knew. Just like with Vatsa, Krishna knew. This is not one of the cowherd boys. And so there was, as the cowherd boys would regularly do, there were different games that they would play. Dinabandhu was describing very humorously some of those games that the boys were playing. And one of the games that they played was that they would wrestle. And when they were wrestling, many times, not always, but many times, Krishna's side would lose. This was one of the reasons that the cowherd boys were thinking, who is this Krishna? He's not such a big wrestler, a big, strong person. We're always defeating him. And he has to then, the loser of these games, when it was with teams, the losing team would have to carry the winning team on their shoulders. So Krishna and Balaram would be the captains on the two sides, and they would choose their teams. You know how boys will do. Pralamba decided, Krishna, he's too powerful. Better if I get on the side of Krishna, and then I can defeat Balaram. I can destroy or kill Balaram. Okay? It's a very, very detailed description given by our acharyas about this particular pastime. Krishna's side lost again. Balaram's side won. And so Krishna had to carry Sridham on his shoulders. And Pralamba carried Balaram. Now our acharya is described like this. As Balaram was being carried, he was enjoying it. The only thing is, Pralamba kept going further and further and further away from all the rest of the cowherd boys. And Balaram was thinking, wow, this is fun. And Krishna called to Balaram. Balaram turned and looked at Krishna. Krishna looked very concerned. Balaram thought, he's just wanting to enjoy like I am. He kept going further and further and further and further. And then it occurred to Balaram, he's going very far. And so, because he's the personality of Godhead, in order to prevent Pralamba from going further, he just made himself very heavy. There are these two opposite mystic powers, Laghima Siddhi and Anima Siddhi. Lighter than the lightest and heavier than the heaviest. So he became as heavy as the whole universe on the back of Pralamba, feeling the weight of Balaram on his shoulders. Pralamba was being crushed by that weight, and so he was unable to carry that weight other than manifesting his asura form. And when he manifested his asura form, then Balaram could understand the look of concern in Krishna's eye. So with one bang of his fist in the side of Pralamba's head cracked open, and blood came gushing from his mouth, and in his asura body he fell to the ground dead. And all the cowherd boys came and applauded. Balaram ki jai! We have another wonderful narration to tell to our parents when we go back this evening. Now Bhakti Vinod Thakur, perhaps you know this, in his explanations of these pastimes of Krishna, each one of the demons that Krishna destroyed, starting with Putana, each one of the demons that Krishna destroyed, not that the killing of the demons was metaphorical, but it indicates or it represents Krishna helping a sincere devotee to overcome some obstacle on the path of pure devotional service. There are two demons, however, that Balaram personally killed, both for particular reasons. Dhenukasura and Pralambasura. These are two obstacles on the path of spiritual life that one must personally make great effort to overcome. And when one makes special effort to overcome these obstacles, bala, spiritual strength, is given by Balaram to the devotee. So ultimately we cannot overcome obstacles on the path of pure devotion without descending mercy. It is not going to happen. But that's very nice also, because the path of devotion is a path of reciprocation with the Supreme Lord. That's what we want. In any case, it's not just overcoming something and standing in a desert somewhere, but being in a position where we're in a loving exchange of transcendental service unto Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees. So the pralamba, teacher, represents very strong and unbridled attraction for material enjoyment. Krishna will give us strength to overcome this tendency, but we must make deliberate and specific efforts in this regard. Strong, lusty desires, for example. We need to pray to Krishna that our loving attraction to Him grows stronger and stronger and stronger. And to overcome those impure desires for material enjoyment, we require the strength of Krishna Balaram. So this pastime, next time you read in Krishna book, or you hear this pastime discussed in any form, you can now have your visual image of being here in Vrindavan. And just as we entered into this area, fortunately for us, the Pujari opened up the door. But in this very same area is the area where the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the deity is the deity of Lakshmi, where Lakshmi came to engage in austerities, which just even that statement is astounding. Lakshmi underwent austerities. In this world, how many people undergo austerities to get Lakshmi? And that's even the temporary chanchala form of Lakshmi, the material reflection of the goddess of fortune. The goddess of fortune, what is her position? She's the source of all the opulences, or the resting place of all the opulences of the personality of Godhead, Narayan. She has everything. She's not wanting anything. And amongst the various personalities who are honored as being most chaste, who can be more chaste to her master than the goddess of fortune, to her eternal consort, Narayan? You may know this description from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where this topic was brought up by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resided in Sri Rangam for 4 months of the rainy season during his South India tour. And with Venkatabhata, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regularly discussed topics from the scripture. Naturally, devotees of the Lord will do this when they're together. And same, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the role of a sannyasi from the Madhvacharya line, and Venkatabhata, chief priest from the Sri Sampradaya, the Ramanuja line. They didn't emphasized their differences. They were enjoying the company in pure devotional service, relishing the topics of Krishna, or relishing scriptural discussions, and serving the Lord in pure devotion. Great intimacy they developed in the course of their being together. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami elaborately discusses this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. On one evening, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought up this subject of the goddess of fortune, whose deity is here. Why is it she's the chaste servant of Narayan? Why did she leave the lotus feet of Narayan to come to Vraja to enjoy in the rasa dance with Krishna? And Venkatabhatta replied, there's no lack of chastity on the goddess of fortune's behalf, because Narayan and Krishna, they're the same. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, all right, that's true. But when she came here, she, the goddess of fortune, underwent austerities for thousands of years. And still she was not allowed to enter into the rasa dance with Krishna. Please explain. Why is that? Venkatabhatta replied was, I don't understand this one. But you are supremely intelligent. You're the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You please explain to me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu smiled, and he explained something that we hear again and again in the course of our being here in Vrindavan. But he explained it very, very clearly and on the authority of Scripture, that the love that's found within Vrindavan is on such a confidential level that even if, whoever you are, even you may be the goddess of fortune, still you require the mercy of the residents of Vrindavan to enter into the intimacy and confidentiality of that pastime, of the Lord's pastimes. The goddess of fortune is thinking, I'm the goddess of fortune. I'm the direct manifestation of Lord Narayan's full opulences, being unable to relinquish that conception of herself, because that's who she is. The residents of Vraja have a different conception. They're simply loving Krishna for the sake of loving Krishna, not for the sake of Krishna being the personality of Godhead. And Lakshmi is the goddess of fortune of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It doesn't fit. It's not the mood of Vraja. So when we describe the very, very simple and beautiful pastimes of Krishna, those who have a material conception cannot understand, and those who have an Aishvarya conception cannot understand. And yet it's part of the supreme opulence of Vraja. We'll be discussing this when we have our Brihat Bhagavatamrita discussion. Narada Muni explains this so wonderfully to Gopakumar, because Gopakumar had already been in Vaikuntha. He had been in the presence of Lord Narayan. And the residents of Vaikuntha were trying to encourage Gopakumar. You don't fit in here wearing those cowherd boy clothes and carrying a flute. Let us get you suitable clothes. It will be more appropriate for Vaikuntha. That disturbed Gopakumar's mind. He was happy just in the mood of being a simple cowherd boy. Conversely, when Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, came, even with austerities, for thousands of years, there's no question of material desire or any of the things that we may contend with, attraction for independent enjoyment from the Supreme Lord, none of that. Still, the mood of Vraja is so special. The goddess of fortune, without that specific receiving of the mood of Vraja from the residents of Vraja, could not enter into the Rasa Leela of Krishna. Lakshmi is none other than an expansion of Radha. In fact, we understand from Sri Brahma Samhita that in Goloka Vrindavan there's hundreds and millions of goddesses of fortune. Each of the gopis, they're expansions of Radha. They are also supreme goddesses of fortune. But their mood of love is a degree of selfless love unknown even to the goddess of fortune. Therefore, they are honored by the scriptures and by our acharyas as the most exalted in their love for Krishna. Even comparing Vaikuntha to Dwaraka, there's an intimacy in Dwaraka that is absent even in Vaikuntha. And the topmost of confidential servants of Krishna in Dwaraka, Uddhava, was sent by Krishna to Vrindavan just so that he could experience what that love of the residents of Vrindavan is for Krishna. Most confidential outside of Vraja. Confidential meaning they would have talks and even people would hear them talk. They wouldn't understand what they were saying. Krishna's relationship with Uddhava was such that he would take advice from Uddhava. How confidential? Who can advise Krishna? But Krishna had that confidential relationship with Uddhava. Once when Maharaj Yudhisthira came to Dwaraka, or sent messenger, please come at Yudhisthira Maharaj's invitation to take part in the Rajasuya Yajna. At the same time that messenger came from Maharaj Yudhisthira, another messenger came saying that Jarasandha and Kalyavana are planning a big attack on Hastinapur. Please do something. So Krishna turned to Uddhava, said, whatever you advise me to do, that's what I will do. Krishna accepted the confidential advice of Uddhava, the most confidential associate of Krishna outside of Vraja. And when he came into Vraja, he was amazed to see the intensity of love of the residents of Vraja. So, the goddess of fortune was not permitted to enter into the Rasa Leela of Krishna, nor will we be able to enter into not only the deeper understanding, what to speak of eternally participating with Krishna in his Vraja Leela. And thus we also receive the blessings of the residents of Vrindavan the eternal associates of Krishna who engage in those wonderful pastimes. Part of our purpose in coming here to Vrindavan is to at least to understand that principle, and as I expressed at the very beginning as a theme for this yatra, if we can enter into a very deep and prayerful, genuine prayerful mood, that our natural love for Krishna awaken through this visit, and each of the places that we go, that our mood is not just taking pictures and hearing, but entering into through that katha, through contacting the dust of Vrindavan, purifying our existence just by coming in contact like that. Hearing the holy name, seeing the amazing deity forms of the Lord, the transcendental opulences of Krishna that he exhibited through his wonderful pastimes. We should all be praying very, very sincerely that our hearts become softened and purified and attracted to achieve that love that the residents of Vrindavan have for Krishna. Hare Krishna.